Hey there YouTube, it's Nick with Feeding Fitness. Today I'm going to bring you part 2 in my series of training with a lower back injury. In part 1 I talked about my injury and some basic things you guys can do, such as how you sit, how you stand, posture related things to try and stave off these lower back injuries, and just something you can do if you have one to try and make yourself feel better. Today I'm going to get into more specifically how I rehabbed my lower back injury. If you haven't seen the first video, link in the description. So I'm going to tell you about the 3 major things that I did. Now again, if you haven't gotten your injury checked out by a doctor, please do so before you do anything that I'm talking about in this video. This is not meant to be a treatment for your specific injury. This is what I did. It might work for you, it might be dangerous for you. You need to ask a professional. So that being said, the 3 things I did. First thing I started with was doing a yoga routine. I found this one randomly on Google. I'm going to also link that in the description. Now there are a lot of yoga moves that do put your lower back into flexion, and immediately post-injury this is not good. This routine is specifically designed for someone who has a lower back injury, so those moves aren't included. So it's a good routine to start with. This really just helps you relax, helps you get some of the tension out of your back. It just helps you feel a little bit better. I always felt better after doing this. I was doing it about every other day when I was hurt. So I'm just going to link that in the description. It's about an hour long, and it's a good exercise that you guys can do, and it really did help me a lot. Alright, so in addition to that, we need to do some core strengthening. It's part of the reason we got hurt in the first place. So, how do you do core strengthening when you already have an injured lower back? A lot of you probably did cable crunches as your main move to do abs and core. Cable crunches are dead to you now. You might never do cable crunches again. That move in and of itself mimics the herniation of a disc. It's not a good move for anyone with a back problem. It's not even a great move for anyone without a back problem, but that's another debate. If you have a back problem, you really shouldn't be doing any kind of crunches. So, how are we going to work the abdominal muscles and, more importantly, the core and the lower back? I'm going to show you guys the McGill Big 3, or actually I'm just going to, again, link in the description. What's the McGill Big 3? Well, Dr. Stuart McGill is one of the foremost experts on back injuries. He put together 3 exercises that can be used to strengthen the back in a safe way. These exercises are the curl up, the bird dog, and the side plank. And they all have variations you can do to increase the difficulty, because eventually you're going to get strong enough that these moves aren't hard and you'll have to go to the next couple of levels. So I have a video of Dr. McGill himself. I'm just going to link that in the description. These are great exercises. I did these again every other day. I did it on the same day I was doing the yoga. So do these, work these moves, and if any of them hurt you, if any of them cause you pain, the yoga or these moves, stop. Stop immediately. This isn't like the tough get through it phase. We're not doing that. Anything causes pain to your lower back, stop it immediately and try and find something else that's more suitable. All of these moves shouldn't cause you lower back pain. None of them involve flexion, but again, everybody's back injury is different, so if these moves hurt you, don't do them. So we're going to do yoga for relaxation and generally getting out the tension. We're going to do the McGill Big 3 for strengthening. The third component we're going to do is stretching. If you hurt yourself deadlifting, I'll bet money you have very tight hamstrings. It's probably the reason I hurt myself. With my combination of long limbs and tight hamstrings, I probably would have been better off to do sumo deadlifts to begin with, but that's neither here nor there. I had inflexible hamstrings. You need to increase your flexibility. So I'm going to show you a very basic stretching routine that I'm going to use a rubber band to help me with, and these are going to let you do the stretches in a way that should be safe for your back. So let me show you these. This is a quick routine. You can do it every other day like the other things, and I don't do it right before, right after lifting. There's some data that would show that that's not exactly the best thing to do with strength training, so I just put it at a totally different time. But I'm going to show you these exercises that you guys can do to really kind of just stretch out your lower body. So Okay, the first stretch we're going to do is our basic, just hamstring stretch. You're going to want to take your rubber band. I use the green one with the resistance. I find this is the best one for stretching. You can buy these on Amazon. And just give it a wrap around your foot. And you're going to leave, the leg you're not stretching straight. And then the leg you're stretching, you're going to bend your knee as much as you have to keep your lower back flat. You should be able to stick your hand underneath your lower back, and you can leave it there if you have to. That back must remain flat. So that's where the rubber band helps. You can have a lot of bend in your knee if you have to. Now the stretch should be in the hamstring area, but you're going to need to bend your knee when you have these lower back injuries. You should not be doing this at any point. Your lower back should not bend. So for starters, a lot of you guys may only be here or here. And as time goes on, you'll get a better and better stretch. And just remember, this area, lower back, must remain flat. So I'm going to hold each of these stretches, 15 to 20 seconds. And I'm going to do this same routine for both legs. I'm just going to show it to you on the one leg. So that's your first stretch. Your second stretch is going to be more of like a hip opener. So you're going to take your opposite leg, the leg you're not stretching, and bend your knee. Then you're going to take the leg you are stretching, put your ankle on about your knee there. Take the rubber band, wrap it around your head, and you're going to stretch the hip like so. Again, you're going to have that area in your back. You should be able to stick your hand under, your back is flat. None of this, no flexion. So you're going to hold this, again, 15-20 seconds. Next stretch. This one's pretty easy. The leg you're not stretching, leave it straight out. The leg you are stretching, you're going to pull it out to the side, and then again, wrap your arm around your head and just give it a stretch. Again, 15-20 seconds. Next move, this one, be a little careful with. This can easily lead you to bend your back, and you're not going to want to do that. You're going to take your leg over to the other side and stretch this way. And you really, really have to concentrate to keep your back straight. Again, knee very bent, and you're not going to be pulling that far at first. Eventually you'll get more and more flexible and you can do it better, but at first you're not going to be pulling the leg much, knee bent. Keep the back flat. Final stretch is going to be a quad stretch. This one should actually feel really good. It's going to put your back into extension, and when you have a lower back injury, extension usually feels good. So how you do this one is you'll basically take the band in your hand, roll to your stomach, and just pull forward. And again, this creates that extension, and that should feel pretty good on your back. So you're going to do all of those with both legs, 15 to 20 seconds, and you can even do those every day at first if you want to try and get your flexibility up. So that's the three major things I did to rehab my back. You have to do these diligently. Treat these like you treat your lifting. Take them seriously. You should be trying to improve as you go. Your stretching should get better. When you're doing the McGill Big 3, you should be adding the variations in to try and make them tougher. And this is going to help you tremendously. I did all of these moves for quite a while until my back really started feeling good, and then I started transitioning into other methods of core training, which I will get to in later videos. The next couple of videos, I'll start talking specifically about what my lifting routine looked like, how it had to be modified to take into consideration this low back injury, and then eventually I'll talk to what I'm doing now. Even though I'm basically pain-free every day, there are still a lot of things I have to have different because of this previous lower back injury. It's going to be something I deal with for life, and for many of you that's going to be the case. So look forward to the next couple of videos. Should have them out somewhat soon. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can ask questions in the comment section below or over at the Facebook page at facebook.com/feedingfitness. I'll see you guys next time.